Welcome back to Firehouse number 6. I'm your host, Chief David Malloy, Director of Public Safety, and continuing to join us here on set, Fire Protection Officer Andy Copeland and Director of EMS and Fire Operations, Jeff Johnson. And Andy, before we left, we were talking about the various types of car seats. Give the viewing audience a little bit of history on where they are and what type of classes we have in those types of car seats.
Sure. There's basically 3 types of car seats. One is an infant car seat, which is generally up to 1 year of age and 20 pounds or less. They are recommended to be in the rear seat at all times and rear facing. The child will be facing the rear of the vehicle. There's a certain installation technique that we use. The rear angle should be between 30 and 45 degrees offset, level to the ground, and in a 5-point harness. That's also very important. 5 points of contact for the infant. It helps distribute weight and shocks in a vehicle accident. The second type is a child safety seat, still a 5-point harness, but at this time they're allowed to face forward-facing. It is still a 5-point harness. It allows that contact and the weight to be distributed over the body. That's from anywhere from 20 pounds and higher, over 1 year of age till about 4 years of age. We always recommend, and also the government recommends that a child be rear-facing for as long as possible, up until they actually outgrow a rear seat. But anywhere between 20 pounds and 4 years of age, they can be forward-facing in a 5-point harness. After that, there is a booster seat, which is generally where they can start to use the adult seat belt, still across the shoulder and across a lap belt harness, not just a single belt like they used to have in the center seat. Still has to be in a harness belt. And that's anywhere up to 8 years of age or 4 foot 9 inches tall. Very important. The law does not recognize weight as part of the way the law is written for enforcement. However, seat manufacturers and vehicle manufacturers base all their crash testing on weight. That's very important, that weight be followed by manufacturers' recommendations.
Outstanding. Director, I know you had a couple questions.
Yeah, I was wondering, Andy, if someone was involved in an accident, and what's the best advice that you can give someone to avoid injury in a car crash if their child and their family is involved in an accident?
Well, the best way to avoid injuries in a car accident, a couple obvious ones: drive safely, be a safe driver, follow safe practices. Adults wearing their seatbelts, kids will follow that. Kids will follow what the parents do. So always wear your seatbelt in a vehicle. Make sure before the vehicle moves that everybody is restrained in the vehicle with a harness system for a car seat, or every adult in the vehicle is properly seatbelted. And then you as the driver also be seatbelted.
So those laws all apply to small children up to adult. They need to just practice that.
Absolutely. Everyone in the vehicle has to be seatbelted at all times. That is our law. The child in the restraints and in the car seats. Not only is it safe for your child, it's the right thing to do, and it's the proper thing to do.
Good practice.
Absolutely.
So if someone bought one of these car seats and they wanted to get with you, what would they do?
Well, first of all, they can call us here at the fire station, the main business line, or get a hold of us through the city's website. Make an appointment with me or Firefighter Gerns. We'll be happy to meet them here at the station during business hours. They can bring their vehicle in, bring the seat, all the owner's manuals. We'll set up that for them and actually install the seat, put the child in the seat, make sure that the child is safely seated properly, and show the parents some safety practices.
Outstanding.
Very good.
Director and Andy, I'm really very thankful for you guys putting this together. Great idea on the director's part to get the fire protection officers and the firefighters more involved and engaged, letting the citizens throughout No.VI know exactly the number of services that we offer. It's just incredible when we look at the talent of the men and women that we have in the No.VI Fire Department here to be able to showcase that and now put you in touch with the residents, their children, and everyone loves coming to a firehouse to begin with, so that's just one added way. So thank you for putting that together.
Absolutely.
Director, one thing that I'd like to also touch upon is the strategic planning process that we're engaged in here in the No.VI Fire Department. Can you give us a little bit of background? I know this started back in July of this year, and kind of where that stemmed from and where we're at in that process.
Yeah, we've made great strides with the program. We have a really high-powered team that's working together to develop that strategic plan, a very important piece, something that we hadn't done in quite a long time. And so from what we've been gathering, we've done what we call a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. From that, all of our firefighters, all the employees have had input into that process. And just recently, this past week, we met at Walsh College and we went through the SWOT and did what we called focus groups. And we have some themes that we're working on right now. And so that process is moving along, and we're looking forward to creating that and getting that out to all of our members.
Yeah, I know some of the constant themes were the outstanding equipment and technology that we have here, the organizational culture that we have in the No.VI Fire Department, the willingness to serve, the willingness to take on new responsibility, and then some of the marketing and leadership that we're really going to engage upon and look at being key components to our strategic plan as we look 3 to 5 years out. And I think one of the pieces that I'm really proud of is when we did the SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats, we actually put that out to all the men and women, and we got virtually a 50% response rate, which is really good for a survey measure. Mm-hmm. And then when we held the focus groups this past week, we had about 20% of the organization that showed up on their own time and actually want to be part of developing this plan and forming a new mission, a new vision, and the values that the men and women of the No.VI Fire Department are going to be known for. And that's going to be integrity, professionalism, loyalty, dedicated, courageous. Those are the types of things that when people think of those, they're going to think in the No.VI Fire Department. So I think that's what I'm most proud of in that entire process, is we're able to put those things together.
Yeah, and it really boils down to the people. You know, the men and women of the department here are incredibly talented, and they really are dedicated, and they want to move the fire department forward.
Right. You know, I think maybe a lot of the community members don't understand is that we do have one of the model combination departments in the area where we have full-time fire protection officers Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., a dedicated group of men and women who are serving. But then we also have a dedicated group of residents and people who live within 1 mile who serve as paid-on-call firefighters, as well as our supplementary staff, our auxiliary firefighters, also a great group of men and women that help plug some of those gaps where we have in staffing and shift work. So I think it's important for everybody to realize that we do have an outstanding team. We're never going to settle for second place, and we're never going to get complacent. We're always going to be moving onward and upward. I think we have to stay sharp in the changing technology. I know we have some training coming up with dealing with the new electrical vehicles and some of the newer lithium batteries and some of those technologies that the automotive companies are advancing that are greener technologies, yet we have to keep up on as first responders to make sure that we're handling those properly as well. So a lot of good stuff going on and a lot of things. Any closing thoughts either one of you have as in terms of what's happening here and now?
Yeah, I just think that we're always here to serve our public, and we want them to be safe, and so we're going to continue to offer these types of programs and listen to our people and continue to deliver excellent service.
Andy?
Well, Chief, just today I did a car seat installation for someone, a resident of Lyon Township. So not just the residents of No.VI, anyone in the local area that needs help with a seat, I'd be more than happy to help them if they come by and make an appointment.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, because in this time, the economic times that we find ourselves in, the more shared services we can engage in with our partners, whether it's in the public safety realm or the public works, or the city of Novi recently entered into a contract with South Lyon to assist them with doing some of their building and official work and some of their building inspections. So Novi's always been on the cutting edge of sharing and leading those shared services. So I appreciate everything that you both do, and thank you for appearing here today.
Absolutely.
And thank you to the viewing public for tuning in to Firehouse number 6. We look forward to seeing you next time, and keep watching Novi Television.